evening and welcome to WION Fineprint. I'm Aisha Sindhu. Ireland's victory over a stringent abortion law has given renewed hope to people across the world fighting a similar battle. Northern Ireland is no different. It too was hoping to follow suit, but British Prime Minister Theresa May has refused to back reforms with regard to abortion laws in the country. But first, here's why the onus lies on Mrs. May when it comes to making the decision. Now, Northern Ireland is a decentralised territory of the United Kingdom, which basically means that the British government cannot and does not make all the laws in the region. Health, for instance, falls under the ambit of the Northern Irish government. However, since the breakdown of a power division agreement with the Northern Irish government, British lawmakers have been taking major decisions in the region. Now, in wake of Ireland's landmark referendum, the focus has shifted to Mrs. May's government, which is facing increasing pressure to scrap Northern Ireland's strict abortion law. The Prime Minister is facing the heat not only from opposition parties, but from within her own party too. Conservative MPs and the Royal College of Midwives are among those calling for a referendum in Northern Ireland. Close to 160 MPs wrote to the Prime Minister asking the British government to relax the abortion rules in Northern Ireland. The deeply Catholic country is the only state under the United Kingdom's legal jurisdiction which does not allow abortion, even in cases of rape or fetal abnormalities. But in bringing any relaxation to the existing legislation, Mrs. May risks destabilising the British government, specifically in losing the support of the socially conservative Democratic Unionist Party, which is unlikely to back a liberal abortion law. Her family has been fighting for justice for the last 6 years, not just for her, but for all the women in Ireland wanting ownership over their own bodies. Savita Halapanavar's death led to a historic change in Ireland. A draconian law was repealed after 35 long years. Savita's parents couldn't have hoped for a better way to honour their dentist daughter's memory. But now they have one last request for the Irish people.
Votes in favour of the proposal, 1,429,981.
Tears of joy rolling down their cheeks as they usher in a new era. An era where women's choices are respected. On Saturday, Ireland overturned one of the world's strictest abortion laws after 3.5 decades. And the scenes in Dublin were surreal.
First of all, the people have spoken. And they're saying that this is a country in which we trust women and respect their choices. And thank you so much for making today possible. Thank you.
Ireland made history.
We made history! We made history! We made history!
And in celebrating it, one name made its way onto everyone's lips. Savita Halapanavar, the 31-year-old Indian dentist who was the driving force behind the campaign to liberalise abortion. Savita died in 2012 in Ireland after she was denied an abortion due to the Catholic country's strict legislation. Her story became the tipping point of anger over the Irish Constitution's 8th Amendment, the legislation that made sure her pregnancy wasn't terminated. Over the weekend, as celebrations erupted on the streets of Dublin, a mural to Savita turned into a shrine. Awaiting the results of the referendum, Savita Halapanavar's parents were overjoyed to know their daughter's sacrifice didn't go in vain. Expressing his heartfelt gratitude, Savita's father thanked the people of Ireland for honouring his daughter. He just had one more thing to ask, and I quote, "We have one last request, that the new law, that it is called Savita's Law, it should be named for her." His hope found resonance with pro-choice campaigners in Ireland. And why wouldn't it? Savita was the face of their campaign. Had it not been for her, many like her would have suffered the same fate. For now, a battle has been won. one that the Irish Parliament will have to pass before it becomes a law. The country's health minister will seek cabinet backing to draft a legislation that would allow abortions within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy and up to 24 weeks in exceptional circumstances. And the pro-choice Irish government hopes that the legislation will be passed by the end of this year. 6 years after her death, Savita Halappanavar is now a symbol of change in Ireland. But it remains to be seen if she'll be immortalised with a law in her name. Bureau Report, WION.
Ireland is a predominantly Catholic country which may soon give its women legal sanction to abort a pregnancy. But there are several other countries that are not so open to the idea. Now, religion and culture determine laws surrounding abortion, and there are 18 countries around the world where abortion is banned entirely. Here's a look at 5 countries that have some of the strictest abortion laws in the world. First up is the predominantly Catholic Malta. It's the only country in the European Union with a total ban on abortion. Terminating a pregnancy here can attract a jail term of up to 3 years. El Salvador is another country with draconian laws relating to abortion. It's illegal under all circumstances in the South American country, even when the would-be mother's life is at risk. Not surprisingly, the Vatican features on this list too. The independent state within the city of Rome holds abortion illegal under any and all circumstances. Terminating a pregnancy is banned even in cases of rape or if there is an identified abnormality in the fetus. In Europe, in Poland, abortion is illegal except in case of pregnancy arising out of rape. Even then, it's only permitted within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. The country does make an exception if the woman's life is in danger and a doctor feels the need for an abortion. The predominantly Shiite country of Iraq also has a very strict abortion law. It is illegal and can attract criminal charges, though in rare cases it may be allowed if doctors confirm that continuing with the pregnancy could place the mother's life in danger. But there are several countries that have restricted laws in place when it comes to abortion. In the recent past, many of them have relaxed their laws after sustained campaigns. For instance, Chile. Until last year, there was a total ban on abortion here. They have now relaxed the law and termination is justified in cases of rape or if there is danger to the mother's life. In Germany, abortion can be done on request but only before 12 weeks of pregnancy, beyond which abortion is allowed only if there is a deformity in the fetus or if there is danger to the mother's life, but the situation is often quite rare. The third country where abortion is allowed is India, but only up to 20 weeks of pregnancy, after which it's allowed in the rarest of rare cases if the mother's life is found to be in danger. Even the United Kingdom has a restrictive abortion law in place. While it is until 24 weeks, at least 2 doctors need to agree on the necessity of an abortion. After 24 weeks of pregnancy, only if the mother's life is at risk does termination of pregnancy come into play. In India, abortion is permitted up to 20 weeks of pregnancy. However, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act can allow abortions at any time during a pregnancy if it's medically determined that termination can save the mother's life. Now, in recent days, India has seen a spate of abortion petitions reaching its highest court. A look now at some of those cases and their outcomes. In February of last year, 2017, a 22-year-old woman approached the Supreme Court seeking an abortion for a 23-week-old fetus. The baby was malformed and the pregnancy posed danger to her life. The court constituted a medical board to look into the case. It recommended an abortion without which the mother's life would be at risk. The board added that there was no chance of the fetus surviving after birth. The court accepted the recommendation and allowed the mother to terminate her pregnancy. However, the court wasn't of the same view when it came to the case of a 28-year-old who approached it the very next month. The woman was 27 weeks pregnant with a fetus suffering from Arnold-Chiari type 2 syndrome, which could cause paralysis below the neck, among other physical deformities. However, the medical board found that the baby could be born alive if aborted. The court rejected the petition. The baby was delivered and died less than 2 months after birth. In July of 2017, a 10-year-old rape victim's family approached the court asking for a termination of her pregnancy. The child had been repeatedly raped by her maternal uncle and was unaware of her pregnancy. But by the time her family found out and approached the court seeking a termination, she was already 32 weeks pregnant. The court rejected the petition after a medical report found that an abortion would pose a danger to the life of both mother and baby.